What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Reimagine the Change. I am one of your co-hosts, Sherman Webb Middlebrooks, a lifelong Buffalo resident and full-time black man. And as always, I'm joined by some of my player partners here. We got the good brother Antoine Johnson.
What's going on?
And we got my good brother Jasir Ali.
No doubt.
Word. So we got a great conversation for y'all today. As usual, y'all should know what to expect from us here on this platform. Just some fellas chopping it up, talking about life, talking about game, my experiences as men and as fathers, doing work in the community, but also working on ourselves and building up our families as well. So, fellas, let's check in. How we feeling? What's going on with y'all?
Ooh, I'm gonna let you start.
Nah, man, you got the big story. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I
there's
don't got
probably
no
more going on
big
with you.
story. You know, today is what they say, a full day.
Okay.
A full day, man. We in the middle of moving and stuff.
Yeah, I just
and,
bought a house, so congratulations
this
on
is-
that.
Yeah,
Word.
appreciate that. But that's been a journey, and honestly, I'm looking forward to not talking about none of that stuff, so I can have a stress relief.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? Man, so I'll pass it over to you.
Pass it over to me.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we just had the Breaking Barriers boys, and then what was it? Young Men of Color. You know what I'm saying?
I forget how brother
however you
Daniel
call it. Yeah.
branded it. How did we brand it this week? Or this year?
Well, I mean, the retreat still mainly like the boys and young men of color retreat.
Yeah.
But then, you know, over the last few years, we've included the fatherhood piece. So
Right.
I think the three of us sitting here, including Daniel, another brother, is like the fathers. That's
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a
You
fact.
know,
Right.
but
Yeah.
nah, it was good.
So I mean, we had that over the weekend. Always a dope experience. Always cool kicking it with the, you know what I'm saying, the young brothers.
Yeah.
You know, it's always so eye opening. Like when you see, like some of the circumstances that they come from. You know, some of the stresses that they're dealing with at such a young age.
Yeah.
Like so much on them, you know, and you know, to kick it with them and just to see them kind of just let loose and have a little fun, and at the same time, you know, have those real heartfelt conversations with them, and you know, some of the brothers, you know, see them coming to tears, and you know, I always walk away feeling like we need to be doing more.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I also walk away a little angry, and I expressed some of that to you on the last day. Like, man, it's like, where's everybody else at? You know, where the other men at? You know, and I could go on and on about it, but you know, that was my weekend, and then you know, I had my daughter all week. You know, that was always dope. I find myself like missing her more and more, especially as she's getting older. She's getting older. I mean, she's not even 2 yet, but I'm just saying, like, you just see her becoming more and more alert, and you know, learning things in the relationship. You know, you see it like taking shape.
Yeah.
You feel me? If that makes sense. You know.
Yeah.
So it's just been a full weekend, man. Full week.
Yeah.
You know, things of that nature. Just certain things that I'm contemplating. You feel me?
Yeah. I was Saturday riding back into Buffalo from the retreat. I was thinking about, because I think they were playing like basketball and football, some stuff.
Yeah.
Right? And,
Still sore.
I was like, man, you know, I appreciate being able to be out there with them, because like as an adult, like as men, like it's a lot of pressure, like just trying to maintain, you know, the bills and the relationships and the kids and the this and the that. It's like, yo, I just need to relax. So like, and I thought about like their perspective, where it's like they don't have none of that stuff. Like now, some of them probably their life's experience and the things that they're dealing with, they probably have to do some things because maybe their parents are not able to fill in the gap. And like, I understand that's a reality, but by and large, they're probably not having the same responsibilities that
Or at
we
least they
have.
shouldn't.
Or at least they shouldn't. Yeah. And I was like, I love, you know, being able to be around them and like feel that energy of like just relaxing, just playing, you know, and not thinking about everything else. And so even when we were only like we were less than an hour away from home, like it felt like the mental separation from our day-to-day lives.
They not
like,
thinking about home.
No, they not.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
I'm not thinking about home.
Right, when I was with them, I wasn't thinking for the most part.
Yeah, I think that's a really important part because we was only like a half an hour away from home, really.
Yeah.
But like you said, the mental separation I think was really good, and for me, so I didn't. So God, the ancestors in the universe, saw fit that I didn't have my car, and like one of my best friends came into town, and I just kept laughing to myself like, you know, you're funny, man. Like, you know, because I think I'm living in my own reality show, and God is the executive producer. And so I'm like, oh, that was a funny little twist you threw into the plot. Because, like, my boy hit me up, and every time he come into town, I make sure we go out and we have a blast. We making memories. But he hit me up, and I was like, oh, nah, don't come get me. And if I'd have had my car, I would have pulled up.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I need to be here.
Yeah.
I need to be here. Like, I don't got nowhere else I need to be besides here. My daughter is taken care of. She's good. She's straight. She with my mom and her mom, so she's good. But I want to go run around and have fun. But I'm like, if I'd have went out that night, that one night where, like, let's just say, like, the young men really needed us to be there that evening to kind of coach them through some emotional stuff they was going through, some poor decisions that they was making, and then to be there to support my brother as he was navigating, going through a tough conflict resolution situation with one of the young people. I just kept thinking like, wow, if I wasn't here, because I was out gallivanting, I wouldn't have been able to be there to support my brother. And it wasn't just about being there to support the young people, which is important, but it's also about supporting the other men. Like Jasir was saying, like, where all the other men at?
Yeah.
So, like, if it's only going to be 4, 5, 6 of us, like, we got to have each other's back in a real way. And we really got to be present.
Yeah.
And I just found it just really ironic that, like, God know his son, and he know that, like, I'd have been out gallivanting, but, like, I really needed to be present, and so he saw fit to keep me present. And I just, when I got home and had my quiet time to reflect, I just kept laughing about that. Like, man, I would have been out, and I would have came back maybe that night. I would have came back in the morning, but I would have missed that crucial moment where I needed to be there for that young person, where I needed to be there for my brother. And it was just good just to have somewhere else to be. And I can't tell you the last time I cared that much about a pickup football game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just like, I felt like I was young, a young teenager, young preteen, and the only thing that mattered is like playing two-hand touch with my homies or playing 21 with my homies. And like, I care so much about this game in this moment, don't nothing else matter. I forget that I got bills. I forget that I got responsibilities. I just want to win this game. And like, I ain't been that locked in or had that much fun or detached from reality in so long that like, I needed it too, you know what I'm saying?
That is the fun part too. They take it so serious. They take it so serious. It's so fun.
But it was good. It was good.
They do a little move on you. They think like they forget the age separation. It's like, bruh, like
we were at the table.
I got you by like 20 years. Like,
I ain't ran full speed in over 5 years. My lifestyle don't require me to run from nothing.
Yo, I'll cook you. It's like, I hope so. Well, you 17.
But it was good though. So like, I will say, but one key takeaway that I had was, I guess we're officially.
Wait. We?
Okay, I'll speak for myself. Use an I statement. So even though you have been on Earth longer than me.
Hey, but they gave you the nickname.
They did. They hit me with the Unk. I became Unk this weekend.
I get the Mister. you Unk.
Yeah, that was crazy. I'm like, when did I'm only 33. They're like, you pushing 40. I'm like, bro, I ain't even 35.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but like, but for them to like give me that term of endearment, that mean a lot. And I've really been thinking about that since I got back, and just really embracing that. So everybody out there, if you are college age or younger, you are officially my niece or my nephew. All right, ain't no more big bruh. It's just Uncle Sherm. All right?
That's
on.
crazy.
Now everybody
I
gets to
accept
call
it.
you on.
That was
Yeah,
crazy.
I accept it now.
Man, yeah. Talk about mental wellness. One of the things I wanted to talk about today, I was looking at my notes. You talking about the retreat. You guys talk about the retreat, and like there was some really cool moments. There was some real intense moments.
Right.
Even though I wasn't there for the intense moments. But
We was.
We were there.
but my notes. I was reading. We were talking about last time, the Atomic Habits joint, and I went back because I was like, man, like I felt like I got a lot out of it, especially just like unpacking some stuff with you. And the last time I was reading it, one of the things that stood out to me was like he was like talking about like showing up on the bad days, right? Like, and he was talking about just the importance of showing up, And this weekend, and so let me continue to provide context. Like when you're talking about showing up, it's just like no matter like how the day is going, how we perform, like it's better to as they would say, shoot your shot, and even if you don't get 50 points, if you get 10.
Yeah.
Right, like don't leave with a 0 kind of thing. And it's like even when you're not feeling 100%, you're stressed out, you're with your kids or you're with your family. It's just like, did you show up? Like were you physically present, right? And you're just talking about like the power of showing up. And I think for us, like this weekend, like regardless of who didn't show up, like who wasn't there, like we showed up, and we all got personal stuff.
Right.
Like we all
Right.
probably had somewhere else we could have been
Right.
doing something, that we needed to take care of, whatever. But like we showed up in one way or other, some more than others, right?
Yeah.
You think about my situation, but
And we appreciate you, being, because like I don't think enough. That's what men do. I mean, adults do it too. And I think our female counterparts, the women get a lot of credit for like task management, but like that's what the job of a man and of a father or just again an adult is to do. So like you had a bunch of responsibilities. You had personal responsibilities to your family, and then you had a sense of responsibility to the community.
Yeah.
And instead of just deciding, and this is just my perspective, just watching you and knowing you, instead of just being like it's got to be one or the other, you found a way to have both and which stretches you thinner. It's much easier to just say, hey baby, I'm gonna just be home, help you with this move and the kids, or hey baby, look, call my mom, get some support, but I'm gonna be out here this weekend. I'm just let me go support it. But to try to be in two places at once, I know that's mentally, physically, and financially taxing on you, brother.
Relationally taxing.
Yeah, relationally taxing too. So we appreciate you.
Sunday night, I called my mentor because I'm just like, y'all, I'm stressed out. Like my wife's stressing me out. You know what I'm saying? I'm like you said, spread too thin. And he's just like, kind of like talking me through some stuff. And and what did we had the mentor training like last week with Pastor Tommy and Daniel. And that's real, man. Like that whole mentor thing. I didn't call a therapist. I don't have a therapist, but like I just needed to talk to somebody just to get whatever's on my mind out.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And you need to talk to somebody that's gonna pour into you.
Yeah. Like just able to give me some perspectives, just like and I get home and like her and I were going at it. We call it intense fellowship. All right, so I get
Y'all
home.
call it intense fellowship.
Yeah,
I love that.
I like that.
This
I
past
might have to I might have to steal that. We were having a moment of intense fellowship. Y'all already sound like a suburban couple.
But like so I just knew when I walked in that door, like it was gonna be on, and I get in the door, and like my face all frowned up because I'm like I'm ready, like whatever she about to say, and she was just like, "Y'all, I want to let you know I'm sorry." I was wrong, and I just like I couldn't stay mad. I couldn't stay mad.
Wait, you got it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I see why you married her.
That's a mature woman.
Yeah,
Boy, I
shout
tell
out
you.
to you, sis.
Shout out.
Yeah.
And so but
She a real
again,
one.
Yeah.
just again, just showing up as much as we can. And I appreciate you guys because again, y'all didn't have to do it.
Man, it's a team effort, and part of me feel like we do got to do it, and so again to kind of like what my brother Jasir was saying, like where's the other men? and we had a bunch of men who participate in our barbershop talks, and we love y'all. And the one thing that like I want to continue to always like say is we need more men to show up. We appreciate those who do, and the invitation is still open if you didn't make it. Like, I don't want it to be like, oh, you missed this one, now we ain't rocking with you. Or you didn't come to this, and now we ain't rocking with you. Like, that's not the narrative that, like, I want to spend. Like, because we know you have personal things going on.
Yeah,
no doubt.
And so the invitation remains open. Whenever you able to manage and get things in order. So, you know the phrase I was just sharing before we started recording, you got to get your house in order, right? So, like, I'm going through that personally, like literally. Like, I'm working too much. I'm in and out doing a bunch of stuff. I done spent the last 3 weekends not at home, like just work retreats and traveling and stuff. So like my house is not in order. So like my external environment is a representation of my internal environment.
Yeah.
And there's certain things that I can't show up for. But it's certain things like a retreat or something like this that'll get me out the house. And then I could be like, as long as I ain't in the house, I don't mind showing up because I really don't want to go home and deal with my mess that I ain't got in order yet. So please give me a retreat.
No doubt.
So like,
No doubt.
so like I understand that somebody else might be dealing with the opposite. Somebody else might be saying, no, I have to get this in order before I go show up somewhere else. Yeah. And I totally get that. So like whatever your situation is, brother, if you missed this one, we look forward to seeing you at the next one. And if you missed the next one, we're looking forward to seeing you at the one after that, bro. The invitation remains open, and I want to continue to push that narrative.
And you said something, it makes me think, this pastor that used to do the fatherhood piece with us from Rochester, Reggie Cox, he used to talk about like not maintaining, but like being an influence to those in our sphere of influence, right? So the young people that showed up this weekend, ironically enough, I was driving a truck the other day and I saw one of them walking down the street and I called out his name, but he didn't know who I was. But anyways, I think like regardless if we go to a retreat or whatever, like who are those young people in your sphere of influence, right? Like who are the young dudes in your block or that you see every day? Like maybe you can't go out to a retreat or maybe they ain't never coming. This is some young dudes ain't going to be or wherever we Cradle Beach. They ain't going. You know, it's so like how can you reach out? Not how, but be intentional about being in their lives, you know, beyond just your family and so forth. I think that's the other call to action, apart from being with us or being with other guys, whether it be on the stage or whatever it is, like how can you just pour into another young dude?
Yeah. I know for me, I have a unique kind of career trajectory, I'll say. I've been working with young people since I was 16. So like my peers I've worked with, but also like I remember being at the Boys and Girls Club working at 18, and I had a group of 5 to 9-year-olds, and then like 10 to 13-year-olds, and like now they grown. Some of them are successful, wildly successful. Some of them are struggling. Some of them are dead. Some of them are in jail. Some of them moved on. Some of them parents now. Some of them got kids older than my kids. And then I moved to the teen center, and I worked at the teen center. So we had 14 to like 24-year-olds. Now, why do we need to have 24-year-olds coming to the Teen Boys and Girls Club? Because they have nowhere else to go during the winter. And when they were younger, this is the place where they felt safe, where they felt valuable, where they felt seen, where they felt heard. So we had to kind of create a special place for them. So I no longer work there. The staff that I worked with, we no longer work there. But me and the staff is cool. Them are some of my closest friends in like real life, not just work life. And but now, because of social media, I see all my young people on Facebook and on Instagram and on Twitter. And so when I seeing them posting, like my one young man, he I won't say his name, but he made a comment. And he in the streets, you know what I'm saying? And that's he in the streets. And so he was just saying like how he was supposed to be dead, but his ops ain't got no aim. And I had to comment, I'm like, young brother, don't taunt the devil.
That's an invitation to keep shooting.
Thank you. Young brother, don't taunt the devil because they going to keep shooting at you. And like, bro, take this off the internet. Like,
for real.
Like you don't want to be taunting them to like come get you. And like if they're not dead or in jail, it's not over.
No, yeah.
It's not over.
If I'm an op and I see that, it's like, cool, close range.
You're taunting me.
Yeah.
So like, but I had, because I know like how sensitive some of my brothers who in the streets are. Who you talking to, you challenging me? I'm grown now. I ain't that little boy from the club. So I make sure that I framed it in a way where like, look, young brother, I wouldn't be me if I didn't say this to you out of love. Then I followed up with the, if they ain't dead, this ain't over, and don't talk to the devil.
Yeah.
He comments back, thank you, big bro, I appreciate you. You right, you wouldn't be you if you didn't say something. Now this dude like 25, 26 years old now. I'm only 33, I ain't much older than him.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that like, I could have that conversation with him. We ended up having like a 10, 15 message exchange online, and like, where else is he gonna get that from?
Yeah.
So like, it's a matter of like, not letting the relationship go once the professional title is dissolved. Like it's an ongoing thing. Like if you call me big bro, I'm your big brother. If you call me unc, I'm your unc. I don't stop being my nephew's uncle when he's not around. I'm still your uncle. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we got to take this approach.
And that was Pastor Tommy's whole message.